All right, good morning from Echo Bay. I got all busy talking to my buddies Hans and Alan over here. Almost forgot to do an intro. Somebody had to jump in front of me in line because I'm slow at the launch anyways, but today I'm even slower. Because I've been here rigging up talking to these guys for about 15 minutes. But here we go. We're rigged up. We're ready to go. I'm fixing to throw this thing in the water. We're going to go find some boils today. So hopefully, we're going to put them in the boat. We're going to put them in the boat. We're going to release them, but we're going to put them in the boat first. Okay? In compliance with the Lake Mead National Recreation Area filming guidelines, let's not worry about that. Let's just go find something. Okay? So if you haven't checked out channel memberships yet, please go ahead and do that. It helps me out more than you know. Appreciate it. I still got 2 more lures I got to put on. I got a great big, not great big, got a mini umbrella. But, well, any kind of luck, that thing won't even hit the water today. So anyways, I got to put this thing on its big pole, stuff it in the rod holder, and here we go. All right, stick around. All right, we're rigged and ready. We're in the water. We'll do a better, look at the launch coming back in when it's not dark. Well, it's not dark now. It was dark when I got in the water, but we're gonna head over there, hang out for a while, see what happens when the sun comes up over that ridge right there, and about 20 minutes. Okay, here we go. All right, here is the skunk killer of the day, and it is also the skunk killer for the new rod that replaced the one that I threw in Penguin Lake. This we'll cover more on this here in a second. It's not very big, but gotta start somewhere. Get this boat up so I don't drag that deep diver. We don't want to do that. We don't want to lose a deep diver. All right, Sportsman's Warehouse, $49.95, $49.99. Abu Garcia Max STX. It's awesome. It's way better than the one that I threw in Panguitch Lake, except for the reel. The reel was pretty awesome. I pulled that fish in, and I didn't even stop the boat, and it cast like a freaking dream. So we're gonna put another lure out over here. I've got a Mega Bass +2 out over there, so coming into a bunch of fish too. So I might just stop the cast for a while. All right, just kind of as predicted, as hoped. Sun's starting to come up over that ridge, and look what's happening right here. It's all around me. Let's see if I can hook one on camera. Oh, not like that. We got instant problems. Got our little malfunction junction figured out there. I don't know why it happens. I cannot possibly be the only person that happens to. You land on you finally find a big old boil, you make a cast, and your line just explodes. Of course, I have been known to put too much line on a brand new reel, so I'm gonna guess it's my fault. But it happens to me frequently. So I'm sneaking up. They're kinda, there's some right there, and they're all up and through here, so I'm heading towards this over here right now. And we're gonna catch some fish. About every cast with this storm shad right now. And they're all about the same size, which isn't horrible. Doesn't suck. But look at what's going on right out here. Can you see that? They're just like kind of all around me. No diving birds yet though. All right, we got to move a little bit because they are right over there. They're heading into the back of this cove. So we're gonna move. We're gonna change our location just a tiny little bit. Let's see if I can't hook one on the camera while I'm just babbling here. You really got to crank it fast when you're, running into it here. Nope, not that time. So we're gonna slower the boat back down and kind of work this bank. Into every fishing trip, the dinks must follow. That was not the fish of the day. Just swiping at it, but some of them are so small I can't even get it in their face. So, but they're I'm setting I don't see anything on the fish finder right now. But I just saw them erupt behind me. there's one. This is all on a storm shed. You know, the ones that come for like 5 per, oh wow. Not very big. 5 per pack for like $5. You know, those, yeah. So I'm figuring this out. The little babies are up by the shore. Just a little bit, and I do mean a little bit bigger ones are out further. So that's what's working right now. I mean, these things aren't even boiling anymore. Well, they might be just breaking water. But it's every freaking cast, and I'm sitting right here. I'm sitting right here by the banks here, by the shore. I'll show you in a second where I am. I'm sitting right here. That's where we were launching somewhere over there a couple years ago when the lake cratered. So, and it's every cast. And now I'm hearing birds. The birdies are coming. So, but if you're going to use these storm sheds, you got to keep that line tight and set the hook quickly, because they will choke these storms quickly. And they only got one hook on them, of course, so they're pretty easy to get out, but it's still a bit of a pain. And I'm just sitting here up against this bank, throwing out and casting across the, I guess it'd be the mouth. And that time I didn't get one. So that tells me it's time to move. Alright, it's getting kind of hard to see them in the breeze, but they're right over here. You can see them breaking water. Oops, right there. About 100 yards away from me. So we're gonna steam on over here. There's still a few of them down there, but that's what they do. They come in here. I didn't even make it all the way into the back of the cove, and they jam out into open water, and they go all the way across the lake. So we're gonna, and they're over there. I can see them right over there. So I should either start the motor or pick the motor up, pick the trolling motor up, and just jam over there. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna get on more of them here pretty quick. All right, they did exactly what I thought they were gonna do. They went from the back of that cove. They're in this cove right here now. So we're gonna, oopsie, kind of rocking a little bit. But we're gonna work this bank right, I don't know if you can see that. We're gonna work that bank right there around that cove. See if we can't get 20, 30 more of them. So here we go. I'll take a minute out of casting and show you this. I gotta turn this brightness way up. See that? That's shad. Holy moly. I'm 170 feet of water. They're 40 feet down from the bottom up. And those are stripers sitting right on top of them over here too. So I should probably spot lock. I'm gonna go a little deeper and see what I can't find, but gotta turn that down. Don't kill my battery. That would suck. Oh, I'm getting close. All right, we're gonna start casting again. All right, the cloud that I've been chasing, they did pretty much the same thing that they did last time I was up here. They started out in that cove where I was up north of Echo, that first cove north. They went right straight across from Mako Bay. They hung out in there for a while. Then they came down here. They're in here. They're hanging out on the shelf, so I gotta turn. I gotta kind of loop around. Which way do I want to loop? I don't know. I think I'm gonna loop that way. Well, I'm seeing it again. I might run this shelf because there's a pretty good shelf right here. And I saw a few when I was coming down, but they're hanging low. This water's 81 and a half degrees. They're hanging low and they're just coming up and grabbing the shad off the surface, going back down. So we're gonna, seeing them jumping all over the place. But we're, ooh, more of them. Let's see, 39, 40 feet. And those are striper. So we're gonna try and coax them into doing something here. I really don't know why I keep turning my wheel. Messes up my course. So now I'm all messed up. I gotta fix this now. Alright, so I was running the chandelier down and I didn't even get it set. I was putting the rod in the holder. You can't see me. Anyways, I was putting the rod in the holder over here and it took off, and that's what we got. So now I got to get that off, get him back in the water, and put this thing back down. The last time I was using that very same umbrella rig, they were taking the blue side of it. That one took the chartreuse side of it. And, but I am at Echo, so they run about 20 feet deep, so but they're 50 feet down. So I don't know, but it's working, so I'm gonna stick with it for a while. So I found out what they're taking. They're liking that umbrella rig. So I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna put this above the umbrella rig. It's the Gofish camera. I've caught one fish in all the years I've been using this thing. But it's gonna be entertaining underwater footage. It's bright enough out here, you ought to be able to see it. I just gotta figure out if I got to. Haven't exactly figured out how I'm gonna do it just yet. But I got to get her straight. I'm gonna go a little bit north. I'm gonna reel that thing up, figure out how I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna throw it down with the Gofish camera on. Got a little bit of a mess going on there. That's what happens in boil season. Things just, you can make every perfect plan in the world, and as soon as those freaking fish start jumping out of the water, the wheels fall off. And I usually get a backlash, which I did this morning. So they're running, right now they're running 45 to 55 feet. So we're gonna change it up right now. We got a Gofish camera rig to an umbrella rig. I don't know how this is gonna work, but it should give us some pretty cool scenery. I just gotta remember to turn this thing on. I've charged it. We're gonna figure it out. We'll put her down here. I'm in 28 feet of water. I gotta get out of this and go that way. Absolutely worked. There's the cam. And there's the fishy. Holy crap, did I just figure out how to catch fish on the Gofish Cam. I gotta see if it's on, because last time I got all happy about catching a fish on the Gofish Cam, it was not on. But it is not very big, so he's probably not the brightest bulb, but there it is. I don't think it was recording. I really don't. But because I've always thought these things make a weird noise when they're recording. That's why the fish come up and look at them. But we're gonna find out, because it's going back out right now. Right where I just was, so we're gonna find out real quickly. All right, I took the cap off this thing and physically saw the little blue light blinking. So if this didn't record, I have no idea. But I think I'm onto something here. Come here. It's a little choppy. I got 2 lines out, so I'm waiting for that pole to just start screaming over there, and it's not yet. Chartreuse is the color of the day. There he is. Straighten this out. I think I might just reel that diver up over there, because this is working pretty good. Alright, I took the cap off just before I hooked myself. And the little blue light was blinking, so we got a fish on the Gofish Cam. We're gonna reel this. Set this right here for a minute. reel that diver up, just run the umbrella. Buddy Hans right there. I just gave him a chartreuse storm bait. Take a good look at that kayak he's in. You just might be seeing something exactly like that at one of the camping destinations. That's all I'm gonna say. If you know Hans, you know what he's got. He had a fish. He was coming over to get the lure from me, and he hooked up. I can hear him talking. I don't know what he's saying. He hooked a fish when he was like coming over to get the lure from me, and I think he just lost it. But we're waiting for that umbrella rig to go boink boink again over here, because it's working, and they're digging the chartreuse today. So, and they're not. I should just put 2 chartreuses on it, because I have them. I have a whole bag of them. But you know, I don't want to do that. Don't want to change stuff up too much. I'm just like thrilled. I got 2 fish on the Gofish Cam. I think I got 2 on it. I know I got at least 1 and it was recorded. So I'm gonna go for it. Let's see what color it is this time. Chartreuse. There he is. I don't know if he's in frame or not, but there he is. All right. Once a fluke, twice a chance, 3 times, but 4, and now I'm hooked on my trap holder, and again, chartreuse. There should be. Every one of them's taking that chartreuse side of that umbrella rig. Every one of them. And I was catching them when they were boiling this morning. They wouldn't even look at chartreuse. Hans is talking to me back there and I can't hear him. They wouldn't even look at that chartreuse. And now that's all I want. So I'm getting shallow, 14 feet. No! That's not good. That's going to start hitting the bottom. Okay, 18. Might have been just that peak right there. I think Hans is on something. Hopefully the lure I gave him is producing for him. I think it might be. I'm about to get out of the water. Because I worked all night and I'm getting tired. So I'm going to try and make an appointment for this thing to get its first service done tomorrow. Once I get service. There's another fish, or that could be the bottom. That was the bottom. We'll find out if it comes back and smash. There was a peak, and it got down to like 18 feet. So, and I know that thing will go to 20 feet. But over there, let me help you out here. Right over there, there's a mess of fish. I forgot the last one. There's a ditch right in there. When I put the boat in neutral, I actually drifted into about 10 feet of water. But there's just a bunch of fish, and I think that's where Hans is going. Either that or he's fighting a fish. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm heading in. So we'll give a in the daylight look at the launch conditions up here. It's pretty good. I had no issues at all. So, but we'll take a look at it. All right, for those of you that have never put your eye bonds on an umbrella rig from Rob, This is his mini rig. These are pink, chartreuse, blue. Last time I was at Boulder City, that's what they were taking. Same rig. This is what they're taking today up here. So let's see if the Gofish camera is still on. I would suspect no, because it's been in the water for a while. I have got some editing to do. It's still recording. Yes, it is. It's still recording. That's pretty doggone shocking. It usually only runs for like an hour, and it turns itself off, but it's still going. Speaking of electronics, I got something else we're gonna try out here. All right, we're done. We're up out of the water. Boat's tied off the end of the dock. This is kind of perfect timing right here. This is at least a 21 footer. Let's watch him back at him. You can see it much better in the daylight. 1, 2, 3. 3.5 cleats into the ramp. And they got a bunch of big boulders in there. I didn't even get close to that deep. Let's see how this guy does it. So, my little 15 footer, it doesn't have to, and that thing will float me 8 inches of water. So, let's see how deep he's got to go. The rear tires in my truck just hit the water and it floated off the trailer. He's got to straighten her up. I'll come back in a minute. This is getting long.
What? He's fine.
There you go. He's floating. He's far from the end of the ramp.
The end of the mat.
He's floating right now.
Oh yeah, the end of the mat is right here.
Yeah, he's good.
Floating?
And he's floating.
Yeah.
So that's what is that, a 21? Is that a 21 footer?
21. Yeah.
21 footer, and he backed it in with no problem. Floated it right off the trailer. So there you go. They did a really good job rebuilding this ramp. Okay. I'm gonna get out of their way. Get my truck before somebody else gets in line. If you like what you saw, match the dude floating around. I don't know if I had to point at it. Lower right hand side of your screen, please. Like and subscribe, give it a share. See you on the water. If I can't get to Bass Pro tomorrow morning, I just might go to Willow, where things have happened. I also should sleep because I go on 5 straight days, which I don't know, most normal people out there thinking, well, you're a wuss, 5 straight days. That's normal person shift. Yeah, work 12-hour shifts. And then tell me about normal. And get to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. Ain't not normal about my shift, all right? But that's the life I chose. And that is power industry normal. So there you go. Now it's the trudge to the truck. Thanks for watching. See you on the water. All right, watch this lure right here. Okay, it's about to get smashed. What just happened? You'll see the smash. It's just a flash. I had to slow it down to see it happen. Whammo. All right, there's one. All right, I gotta back this up to see. This is just, he missed the bait, but you'll see the smash. And they're just coming out of nowhere, and they are just absolutely crushing this thing. It's gonna be there you go. He missed it. That one, he didn't get landed. All right, you guys have heard me refer to this when they take this as an aggressive smash, and that's exactly what it is. All right, it's stopped right now, but watch that right there. Make her go here. You can't even see the fish hit it. That's how quick it happens. That's pretty awesome. If you watch close, you can actually see this one come up from underneath it and hit it. Right there. There he is. He's behind it. He's thinking about it, and he just smashes it. Can you imagine what my pole's doing when that's happening? There he is. Really cool.